Hello, everybody. Welcome to this space in which we're talking about an issue that has caused many controversies now. 80 years have passed. The great attack of the United States of America has suffered in recent years. The attack of Twin Tower in New York, headquarters of the United States Department of Defense, Pentagon. There is an official version of the events that occurred that day, but they don't match analysis and investigation that have been carried out with checking photos, videos, with information. Today, we're talking about 911, the new Pearl Harbor. To comment on the subject, we have the panelists, Henry Carrillo, Julia Serrano, Sandra Pedraza, and who speak then, Efraín Santos. Why a new Pearl Harbor? After the Second World War, much information was likely about the knowledge that the President of the government of the United States had about a possible attack on Pearl Harbor, a military center on Hawaiian Island, and the government did nothing to prevent the attack will happen. With this attack on Pearl Harbor, the United States government had this perfect excuse to enter to the war, bring advance, and win the conflict. When the attack on the New York City and the capital of the United States, Washington, the government had again the new opportunity to start a war against terrorists. This war that caused wars in Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, and anywhere there are Al Qaeda terrorist groups or against Islamic State. Juliet, I have a question for you. Were the Twin Towers deliberately demolished by explosives?
Okay, there are many theories about this event. One of them said that the collapse of the World Trade Center wasn't caused only by the airline crash damage that occurred as a part of September 11 attacks and the resulting of the fire damage, but by explosives installed inside the towers. Controlled demolitions theories make up major component of 9/11 conspiracy theories. People such as physicist Stephen Jones, architect Richard Gage, software engineer Gene Hoffman, theology David Griffin, and Dutch demolition expert Cathy propose that the aircraft impact and resulting wouldn't have broken the buildings to initiate a catastrophic collapse, and that buildings wouldn't have to collapse completely, not at the speed that they did. So without an additional energy involved to weaken their structures. But the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, and the magazine Popular Mechanics didn't support this theory. They suggested the explanation that doesn't include the explosive. NIST said that they didn't found evidence that suggesting the World Trade Center towers were brought down explosive. At 2009, Jones and their authors published a paper called Physical Journal. And there they said that they have found nanothermite. But NIST responded that there wasn't evidence to corroborating that information. So Jones invited to NIST to conduct its own studies, but they didn't investigate. This year, in June, a group of firefighters in New York called for a new investigation into the events of September 11 because they don't believe that theories. As a conclusion, I think the Twin Towers were demolished by explosive because the report given by the government doesn't agree with many aspects with the real events or the real facts. The tower fell down at great speed, and an explosion where who were here before.
Okay, very interesting. But I have a question. What happened with planes that hit the towers? I seen that the fuselage remains were not found. I remember seeing the impact with live in television, and there are thousands of photos on the moment of the impact. How did the plane disintegrate?
Mm, According to the official reports, airplanes were hijacked by an Al Qaeda operation. Also, official reports say the airplanes disintegrated and any traces were found. But it is hard to believe that the airplanes have disappeared completely and any tower showed evidence of them. So nobody knows exactly what's happening with the airplanes.
It's a mystery. Henry, what some people forward about the attack?
No, I think that no, the people were forward about the attack, but some governments of different countries let know to United States the possible attack. American officials were alerted um, and there were some commercial jets that they have been hijacked in order to crash to the landmarks of the United States. Vladimir Putin, he was alerting the United States that some suicide pilots would intend to slash the intelligence journalists alerted the United States about the hijackers were trained there, no? In the same year that the attack took place, no? In September of 2001. Britain, they alerted the United States 2 months ago before the World Trade Center were attacked. And the military and the army, the United States, they know that when the second plane crashed with the tower, they noticed that there was an attack from the United States, but they took the decision to shut down any plane that was flying in the sky. Yes, but I mean I don't know what happened. They didn't do the operation, no, because there were some planes flying at that time. They didn't attack the airplanes, and although the planes have an item that they avoid the control airplane, and the radar was catching every plane, no? And although they see the planes flying from different miles away from the target, they didn't do anything. I think that there was a conspiracy with the government. That's my opinion about this question.
Yes, but many governments of the world say the government of the United States, hey, the possible attack is real, but the government didn't nothing about that. However, many people in the tower was advised that no go to the work that day. Why? Why some people was avoid and not go to work that day at same time as our.
Uh, and I think that the people didn't know that maybe they didn't know that the World Trade Center had been attacking, but I suppose when the television showing the news around the world, and everybody was watching the news, and maybe many employees of the World Trade Center that work there, they see the moment that the city was living, you know? And I think that some managers of this they have to service is dangerous for them. And maybe the IS are suppose that the IS employees or the IS people to work them, they took their own decision in order not to go to work there, no? And maybe they were waiting some minutes or hours according to the events were happening, no? And although the people who went there, they didn't go to work. I don't know why the government, the IS employees didn't alert the people who were working at that time in the World Trade Center, because I noticed there were for about more than 200 firefighters that they go up to the stairs in order to help people, and they were using radio. They went up to the down to the stairs without communication. So I think that was the reason that so many firefighters died in that situation. And there are many they fear the impact of the explosion. They didn't understood that the World Trade Center had been attacked, no? And maybe for them they had been normally, no? But that's the reason that many people died in that event, and it was so difficult when, for me, I was watching that news live on television on BBC at that time. Imagine that you saw the people that were working in the floors that are higher the fancy part, the building, no? And the people are the people were waiting for in order to anybody to help them, but that was very impossible, no? The people was showing some parts of clothes to the windows, but the people were very desperate. They jumping out from the window, no? And there are some pairs, no? Some pairs that they fill their hands and jump into the window in order to because they were desperate, no? And I think nobody was alert people for maybe these causes will happen, no? according the government knows that the comments about the different countries, but maybe they didn't pay attention or everybody puts a part into the conspiracy to the government, no? And that's my opinion according to this question.
Okay, thank you. Here the question arises if could the USA Air Force have prevented the attack? I respond yes. Yes, the Air Force could prevent the attack. The Air Force was able to prevent that two planes crashing into the tower, but incredible, the alarm system were not working, and nobody from the defense or command of the United States did anything to avoid tragedy. Everything failed that day. The defense aircraft did not leave the base on time, and valuable minutes were lost that could have saved the tower and the Pentagon. The United States Department of Defense have not given an answer to respond to the events that occurred. Have any question?
Um, Tell me, Efrain, could the U.S. Air Force have prevented the attack?
Sorry?
Um, mm, Excuse me, I don't like I confused here.
Yes.
Uh, the United States air defense system is one of the most modern in the world. What do you face at that time?
Okay, there are many mysteries about this case. The defense system of the United States of America is one of the best of the world. But that day of the tragedy, many strange things happened. Many people was, were chair placed, and the most important position were changed for people with less experience. The radar, for example, fails in a general. There was a response time. The throw, com, com, don't remember the name of the system, computer, uh, one system that served to the watch the route of the planes in the flight failed too. Anything failed that day. Chain people system failed. The United States Army now respond. The government keep silence mystery. This tragedy was prevented. They nothing to prevent or to avoid that tragedy. Julie, was the Pentagon really high by the plane?
At about at 9:38 minutes, the Pentagon was hit. As a result of the crash and the fire, 125 workers in the Pentagon were killed. Now I'm going to read about what people say about this day. Daniel O'Brien, one of the air traffic controllers at Dallas, who reported see the aircraft, said, "The speed, the way that he turned, we all thought in the radar room that it was a military plane." A witness said that it seemed to be able to hold 8 or 12 persons and made a shrill noise like a fighter plane. Lon Raines, editor at Space News, said, "I was convinced it was a missile. It came so fast, it sounded nothing like an airplane." And another witness said, It was like a cruise missile with wings. The official story says the entire plane went inside to the Pentagon, and this is the reason that the airplane doesn't appear in the photographs. But there are two important and relevant questions. One, first, first, it is not absurd to suggest that a Boeing 757 created and then disappeared into such a small hole? And second, can anyone seriously believe that a 125-foot wide airplane created and then went inside a hole less than 20 feet wide? And there is a controversy because the plane was big and the hole in the Pentagon was small. And there are another theory. The Pentagon was hit by a missile rather than an airplane because there are photographs to the evidence, and they show red flame, indicating the kind of the fire produced by a type of missile.
If it was a missile that hit the Pentagon, what do you think was the reason to say it was an airplane? And what happened with the plane?
Mm, um, that day, many witnesses say that they never saw the airplane. They just listening saw like a missile. And if the government was responsible for that attack, they never will accept this. It's easier to blame others and hold them responsible for the attack.
Henry, could the attack has prevented?
Yes, I think that the attack could have been prevented, because the president, the United States for that time, George Bush, they know about his country could be attacked, and they didn't do anything, and there were some airplane companies that was giving courses to anybody who wanted to learn to fly a plane, and there were foreign people that they took a course in how to drive a plane. But I think that companies or the offer that services, they have to investigate the data, no? The data for everybody in order to load where the country where they were, or where they born, and what did they do, no? But I think that the companies give that to know how to fly a plane, no? But that was the risk, no? That I think the Australian companies, they have been very careful about that, and maybe it will be prevented to the attack or they were presented. Although all the pilots were playing short planes, no commercial planes, ni Boeing 747, no, because maybe there are some things that are similar in order to drive or to handle a commercial jet. And nowadays, the force only have 4 planes that they have to in charge to protect the country, no? I mean, because the other airplanes was in a war game, no? But when the military, when they know that the World Trade Center had been attacked, they don't use an airplane to protect the city, no? And they took the decision that to shoot down the planes that were flying at that time. I think they didn't do that task. And there are some officials that they were working at that time. There was one that he didn't have any experience, and the others that they are unavailable at that time, and some of them have the cell phones turned off. So in that time that happened because there wasn't communication between the people that they have been in charge in order to protect from. Uh, Imagine that the hijackers took a knife and grenades to the airplane. So I suppose that the security or the the requirement that the airport has in order when everybody wanted to get on a plane, the task of the person who worked in the airport, they didn't do anything well, or maybe some employees at the airport maybe for the conspiracy with the government, no? I don't know if maybe some employees at the airport was infiltrated according to the attack, no? There is an issue about that, and I have watching some videos, I have to read some documents, but I imagine that the truth never, I will never know the truth about that. Always there are some things that they behind, no? They hide, no? They hide in order that nobody knows the truth. That's my opinion about this question.
Okay, thank you. Yes, well, there are 20 hijackers flying in his plane. The government. Sandra, was Osama bin Laden really captured and killed?
Bin Laden official hunting and this narrative seem very clear and forced. It was agility and composition of several points of view. That of the Pentagon, the White House, or immediately the administration had to correction some of most important details of the operation. Bin Laden was not involved in a nation or fired as the vice minister of national security in a nation, say he was an Aramed. Nor had he used one of his women as a human shield. The president and his advisor have no chief leaders of operation in the situation room. The operation have not been recorded by cameras inside HAM. Critics, the operation was not without criticism. Numerous organizations included Amnesty International, denuncied illegality of the operation and the equidad implication that it initial suspicious killing Osama bin Laden instead of having captured his ally even when he was disabled.
Yes, the version official say that the president was in direct and live the capture of the Osama bin Laden, but more later the government retract because they don't see anything. And bin Laden not only was an army, they was very, very ill. Okay, to conclude, we can say that events that were experienced on 9/11 don't match the official version on attack and planned by terrorist groups. The evidence, contradictions, photos, and documents that exist prove that the happening could not be more than a self-attack, with the objective of the entering a war against terrorists that would leave the United States beside the oil of the Arabic country in conflict.